All right, let's see if I can get this technology to work. I don't know why Instagram is giving me some issues. There we go. Okay, so apparently it's just going to make me do 2. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Go ahead here. All right, so I'm doing a part 2 on This Is Keeping You Single. Let me go ahead and open my Instagram so I can see the comments. All right. Technology is not set up yet to where you could see both. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get into this. Those of you watching on YouTube, you can comment and let me know where you are watching from. Those of you on Instagram, I will just have to check occasionally on Instagram. But let's just get into this. I am feeling extremely passionate, and so I'm taking a breath, collecting myself, because I always want to come across as speaking to you guys from a place of love, and that is where it comes from. Sometimes things happen where it's kind of shocking to my system, because I wouldn't think that this would be the state that women are in. But then I remember this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And this just means that there are opportunities for women to grow. And these are opportunities for me to provide some value. So that is the spirit in which I am having this live stream on a Sunday evening. This all was kind of inspired by the comments that have been being made about the polls, and I will tie that in just a minute. But let's just get started. Men are really, really fed up right now. I have been seeing a big shift where guys are not really interested in dating. I have to beg and plead to get guys to come to singles events. I have offered them many opportunities, like, hey, what would you guys need? To come to something, and they're just not motivated. And so I was speaking to quite a few male friends and getting their take, and they all said the same things. And so I am going to express some of these things that they shared and give my take on them. And I'm going to try to stay calm, because it is frustrating at times that these things are happening, and it breaks my heart, because I know that women want to be in relationships, but yet they are sabotaging themselves. There was somebody a while back, I saw her video that went viral. Her name is Rebecca Lynn Pope. If you guys have heard of her, you can let me know in the comments that you have heard of her. But she quit a while back. By the way, shout out to Letitia in Charlotte, North Carolina. She is on, she's watching on YouTube. Those on YouTube, I will shout you out because it's easier to just be able to look forward. And then we have someone watching from Charleston, South Carolina. Very nice. Thank you. Good to have you. So Rebecca Lynn Pope was a matchmaker, and she, after years of working with women, very successful, like she booming business, but she just was fatigued mentally, because she said these women are unrealistic in what they are looking for. Hey, shout out to Derek from the Freedom Lifestyle channel. Hola. Just frustrated, okay? And as a dating coach, I can totally understand, okay? On apps, and I'm setting this up, you guys, so you can understand this situation is more serious than you probably realize. A lot of apps are losing their male subscribers. Guys have to sign up, guys have to pay. If men don't sign up, then the women are not going to want to be there. And if men and women are not signing up, then these apps are losing money. And so a lot of these apps are losing subscribers. They're trying to figure out how to keep themselves afloat. And all of these things are tied together. I was looking at a statistic, and it said 63% of men under 30 are single. And I did a poll on my page, I think yesterday, and I was asking, as far as men, are you like actively looking for a relationship, or do you think it's just kind of going to happen if it happens? And the majority of them were like, it's just going to happen when it happens. They are not out there like women are, seeking a mate, seeking a partner. And it's not because they don't like love. It's not because they are afraid of commitment. It is because of the things that a lot of women are doing. Okay. Here are some of the things that are extremely problematic and are keeping women single, which is my caption for today. This is keeping you single. The first thing is the delusion, and I'm just titling it Love Me for My Personality. I see oftentimes where women say, well, I feel this way, so it should be like this. This shouldn't happen. I don't feel this should happen, so it shouldn't be like this. They look at the world by what they personally feel should and shouldn't happen, as opposed to what is actually happening. If I turn on the radio or I'm on my phone or my app pops up and says a tornado is coming, I can think to myself, I shouldn't have to go through this storm. I shouldn't have to be stressed out. I had plans today and I was hosting a baby shower in my backyard. I shouldn't have to go through this. Those are my feelings. The facts are there's a storm coming and I should prepare myself. I should shelter in place. I should make sure I have supplies in case the electricity goes out. I should invest in, what is it called? I can't think of what's called. I'm so flustered. That thing that keeps the electricity going. Okay. I should invest. I should prepare. Now I can have my feelings and what I wish things were like, but then I have the reality of what they are like. And so the women who say, a guy should like me for my personality, a guy should love me for my personality, as opposed to first seeing what's on the outside. That's so shallow to deal with what is on the outside as far as choosing who to approach and who to not to approach. I love to play the but what if and flip it to the other side. Generator, thank you. What if men said she shouldn't care about what I'm making? She shouldn't care about the fact I still live in my mom's basement. She shouldn't care about the fact that I work at this convenience store. I'm not going to give name brands, okay? She shouldn't care that I have no swag or no confidence. And they operated that way. It shouldn't be that this guy with rippling muscles gets more chicks than me, who's barely $1.25 soaking wet. If men had that same mentality, they would not be successful with women. Okay. Now I do see that you guys are giving comments. If you do want to get involved in the conversation, please jump over to YouTube. I am streaming there and I can actually see the comments there. But it's too hard to look at comments in both places. Okay. And by the way, if you are enjoying this, please go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps on YouTube, especially. They do reward content creators here and push it out to more people who they think would like to see it. But this idea that you don't have to even know what men want and that you don't have to appeal to what they want is ludicrous. It is delusional. Again, I'm not saying this out of spite. I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm not saying this to be sensational. It is delusional. You're not going to get what you want. Okay? It would be just as delusional as me saying, well, I have this baby shower plan, so despite this category, whatever hurricane or tornado, I'm still going to go host it. That's delusional, and I'm probably going to get hurt. Okay? In the dating sense, you are probably not going to get the results that you want. And there might be this one person who's like, hey, there's this one random girl who had success, and you're building your whole plan of action off of this one-off. That's like me saying, I'm going to plan my career, my financial investments off of a one person who hit the lottery in my neighborhood. That's not smart, as opposed to somebody who's had, lots of successes. They're doing the same things. And I'm like, okay, let me get their financial plan. Men have two major things that they look for. And I have 50% male followers when it comes to my Instagram. So any of the 13,000 who come across this, if I'm lying, call me out. Okay? Put a cap in the emoji, cap emojis in the comment if I'm lying. Two main things that men look for. And it's not if you're a boss chick. It's not if you have the biggest booty. It is, are you attractive overall? Like, are you fit? Do you take care of yourself? And are you pleasant to be around? The term was fit and friendly on one of the podcasts. Are you, are you decent? Are you not supermodel? You don't have to have the biggest thing to where you have to get two, seats on the airplane. You don't have to have the largest chest. You don't have to have the craziest hip to waist ratio. Are you taking care of yourself? Not sloppy. You take care of yourself and you're pleasant to be around. It is more enjoyable to be around you than not be around you. When you're not around, he's not around you. He's like, man, it would be nice to be around her. When she comes around, he's relieved. He's not like, oh, those are the two main things that the guys are looking for. Okay. So this whole, you should just like me for my personality. They will like your personality if they first like what they see. Okay. Men understand that they're going to be judged off of their ability to provide and their ability to protect. That is why we go crazy over muscles. That is why we like a big bank account. Okay. They have to go and deal with what we are attracted to. And I say the same thing to men. I just can't be as direct because, it's different coming from a woman to a man. They're not going to receive it so well. But dude, you got to stop crying about the fact that women are hypergamous. We just are hypergamous, just like you guys like beauty. You like beauty. We like financial stability. We like feeling safe and secure. It just is what it is. Don't hate the game. Learn the freaking rules and start to win. Okay. Let me get back to my little banners. I keep forgetting I have these. Okay. Another issue is these bad attitudes. Okay. So many women say they will literally type it and put it in my comments, which is wild. I don't care what men want. I'll say things like, hey, here are the top things that men like. Hey, when it comes to fashion, this is what men like. When it comes to dressing provocatively or just beautiful, this is what men like. And inevitably women will come in. I don't do my makeup for men. I don't get dressed for men. I don't for men. Well, guess what? They're noted. Okay, they're going noted. Y'all don't want us? You're not interested in what we like? Okay. All right. Noted. Women have been loud for a few decades saying, I am not checking for you, men. I don't care what you want. But those same people will turn around and have this huge list of criteria that they want from men. Okay. How about this one? I don't need a man. I got my own money. If I want to get a baby, I can adopt. I got my girls. I can travel on my own. I can buy stuff for myself on my own. I don't need a man. And the men have been listening. Now, for those of you who don't have these attitudes, it sucks for you. It sucked for me. I say past tense because I'm in a loving relationship now. But this is an effect. This has an effect on men. This absolutely has affected their psyche. It has affected their desire to go just swing for the hills, as they say. Gone are the days where the majority of men are going outside with the boombox going, come on, give me a second chance. They're not groveling. They are not begging. They are not pleading. Okay? We have to have a radical change in our disposition. We need to change the narrative. Those of us who don't think and act that way need to be in the majority. We need to be outspoken. We need to comment back when women say this because we are all in this together. Okay? Those of you who are watching from Instagram, would you consider watching from YouTube? Just go to Chasing Yancey on YouTube. Consider going over there. And if you guys are enjoying it, the show, please comment that you're enjoying it and hit that like button. It really helps YouTube to know. Okay. So bad attitudes. This is also keeping women single. Here's the next one. Seeing men as ATMs. I have noticed an uptick in this in the last couple of years. A huge uptick where women are straight up saying, I won't deal with the guy unless he makes, X amount of money. Now, here's the thing. And it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but men need to understand that we're, hypergamous. Yes, there is such a thing as class. There is a certain thing as subtlety. It's the same reason I tell men, yes, you might want to know what the woman's bringing to the table, but guess what, sir? You will figure that out if you spend time with her. You don't need to say that question. That makes you sound crazy. If you're on a date and you go, what do you bring to the table, young lady? That sounds crazy. And any woman who knows red flags is going to run. Does that mean you shouldn't care about what she brings to the table? No, you don't say it. So if you want a guy who makes a certain amount of money, you hope the guy's making more than you, guess what? If you hang out with him a little bit of time, you're going to be able to tell. And if you're a gold digger, he will also be able to tell. Okay? People need to learn tact. So a lot of you who are leading with, oh, I need a man who does da 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 da. You're posting this on your page. You're saying this out loud in your out loud voice. No man wants to feel like he is a walking wallet, just like a woman doesn't want to feel like she is a walking hole. We are a soul who is wrapped in a body having a human experience. We should not be just dwindled down to this one aspect of ourselves. Okay? Thank you. Some of you said you're going to YouTube. Thank you. 13 of y'all, I got to convince y'all to come over to YouTube. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Derek. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I got to remember all the different names that the platforms give. Thank you. I really appreciate that. By the way, guys, if you, especially the men, appreciate the content that I do it for free. If you guys appreciate it and you want to sow into my ministry, as they say in the church, if you want to support my platform, strongly advise that you either drop a super badge like Derek did, or you can join my Patreon page. It's just patreon.com/Yancey, or you can just type in Yancey on YouTube. Thank you, Courtney, for switching over. I see you on YouTube now. But getting back to it, we got to watch how we speak to the other sex, okay? The other opposite gender. And this goes for guys too. Like, we cannot be constantly bashing the gender as a whole and think that each group is going to be just so cool. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for switching over. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. All right, what else? I put my notes together because I'll be rambling if if I forget. Oh my gosh, the sense of entitlement. Okay, this is also keeping women. Now, this is what triggered me today, and I mean triggered. When I say triggered, entitlement means, if you don't know, you feel like you deserve something that you shouldn't. You don't. Okay, so like a waitress is not entitled to a tip. What the person who comes in, they are entitled to get their meal because they paid for it. If they receive great service, then they might be prompted to leave a tip. But the waitress shouldn't be entitled. She should not feel entitled to it. And there are a lot of women on my page who feel entitled to things just because they want them. Okay? That's like I have an eyelash in my eye. And it's wild to me. And what prompted it specifically today was that none of you 14 want to come over? 13 Instagrammers? Come on over to YouTube, if you don't mind. Let me put this on here. Please come to... Oh, I forgot I'm watching from my other account, so I can't. Please come to YouTube. Actually, if somebody can... No, I can't do that. I forgot. I'm watching my other account, so I can see the comments. Anywho, don't mind me, guys. But the sense of entitlement. So every now and then I would do polls. It used to be I did polls all the time, and I would poll the men. Why? Because if I poll the men, I can give you guys accurate information. I have been doing this for 9 years. It started out as just, for me, selfish. I was just a random lady from the suburbs, a divorced mother of two, who just wanted information from men, and I would just take polls and surveys and things like that. And so I have been doing it now, and it allows me to give accurate information. That's why I brag about the fact that 45% of my followers are men. They would not be following me and keeping quiet if I was saying the wrong thing. Y'all know, y'all see posts. If someone gets it wrong, they are digging in the comments. Okay. I ask guys, give me the male cosign if this is accurate, because I'm not looking to make up stuff. I'm looking to actually relay information that is accurate about men, because if women better understand men, guess what? They can appeal to men better and they will get picked. We want to be picked as women. We literally, when a man proposes, we are getting picked. When he asks you to go steady and be his girl, you're being picked. When he marries you, you're being picked. So we all want to get picked, those of us who want relationships. So how can you get picked if you don't know what makes you pickable? This is not a bad thing. This is common sense. If you're trying to get a job, if you're trying to get into a prestigious school or a program, you have to know what criteria they are looking for so you have a good chance of getting picked. Only in dating does this become a bad thing, that you actually want to be educated on what makes you pickable. In sales, marketing, you have to know what makes people pick you. I would be terrible at what I'm doing as an entrepreneur if I didn't know what would make people pick me as a coach. I would be starving to death. I'd be living out of a car if I could even afford a car. You have to know what the person who you are trying to get wants and needs so that they can pick you. And then everyone's happy. No one feels used. Everyone's winning. You will get a man and you will get a man. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that comment. I don't know your name. This is Class C13. Thank you. Appreciate that. So the sense of entitlement. So I have these polls, and inevitably the women kept voting on it. So they finally just got bold and they admitted what we all knew. But they said, I just wanted to see the information. I just wanted to see the information. Okay, well, I post the information and I post it on my Patreon page for my subscribers. This is a bonus. Okay, I work this information into my free content, but if you want to just see it straight up, you want to see the percentages, you want to see every single answer, I post it for my patrons. Now, if she's watching, I'm sorry, sis, but this is a great teaching moment. She was very respectful in what she said, but a girl said, hey, if you're just posting your answers on Patreon, then why don't you just only post it on Patreon? And I let her know, I said, a lot of people do exclusive content. It's a thank you for them investing in your platform. It's a thank you for your support. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's not meant to be a diss to someone who's not on my platform. Just like if I, watch the movie and they say, hey, sign up to this and you can see behind the scenes footage, this movie that was made or interviews with the cast. It's not a diss to me. It's just extra if I want to invest more. If I go to a concert, I can go to the concert. It's not a diss because they have a VIP section or a backstage experience. If I don't have the budget or I don't want to spend the money, I don't. But I should not feel entitled to that just because it's there. And the fact that I had to explain this, just goes to show the mindset of a lot of women. And this is not me having a rant about polls. It's the deeper issue. And the men have been saying this for the longest time. Girl, the biggest thing we struggle with is a sense of entitlement. I have money. She feels entitled to my money. I have access to this. She feels like she's entitled to have access to that. No, you're not entitled. Just because you feel like you want to see the information doesn't mean you get to ruin the poll for everyone else. Your actions affect other people. And I love the fact that if I do the poll on a post instead of the story, everyone can see who votes. In the story, only I can see who votes. But when I do it in the poll, everyone can see who votes. And this allows men to go, noted. These are women who feel like they are above the law, so to speak. These are women who feel like they don't have to follow instructions. These are women, because of impulses and emotions, they feel like the rules don't apply to them. I'm going to do whatever I want to do because I want to do it. And I don't care that she offers that information. I'm going to vote. And here's the part that I keep saying that's so ridiculous. You literally are skewing the data. So you think, ha, 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 I'm a rebel. I got the information. No, you didn't. You got a skewed statistic. You got skewed stats, sis. So congratulations. You muddied the water. I gotta pin this. That's funny. I mean, you're not entitled. Another example of entitlement that just made me think about this. Yes, and see, I'm keeping it a buck because this is how people can learn. There are women who slide in my DM and they want me to give them advice. Let's think this through. I've got 26,000 followers. Can you imagine if I tried to give advice to 26,000 people in their DM? But if I say, hey, that's not what I do, I don't do DM coaching. If you want to sign up for that, I have a program for that. If you want to do a coaching session, you can. It is this feeling like just because I want something, I should be able to have that. Ladies, we have to get out of our own way. We have to look inward. And I think in the past, a lot of stuff was just not talked about. And it is not being talked about now, but the men are just shutting down. They're not going to have a conversation to you about it. They're just going to leave you alone. I'm going to give some examples that some of my clients shared. Okay. And, this is a learning moment. It's a teaching moment. But there were two situations in which the women were not aware that they were contributing to a situation, but they just saw the men's reactions. A lot of you see the men's reactions and go, bad, bad, the man is bad, not realizing you literally caused this. This is a little bit of a stretch, but the verse comes to mind, it says, fathers, provoke not your sons to wrath. There's a reason why, like, kids are supposed to obey their parents. Kids are supposed to do X, Y, Z, right? All these things in the Bible talk about honor your parents, whatever. But the Bible, the Lord understands that there's a level to which someone can get pushed, and you cannot expect people to be behaving a certain way, and you are provoking them. So the two instances, not retitle this Accountability 101, the two situations are this, and I won't go into painstaking detail. But a girl was getting to know a guy. He shared some stuff she wasn't really feeling, which is natural. You learn things about the person, they learn things about you. But it didn't click that the reason he could be backing off was because her reaction, her emotions, her energy, rather, that's what I was looking for, her energy shifted. And so this is not to shame anybody. This is a great teaching moment. This is why I do what I do, to help the women, and also makes for great teaching moments with everyone else. It didn't occur to her that her being turned off a bit could be palpable. Maybe he picked up on that. And one of the things that it might sound funny to guys that I didn't realize this immediately, but I had to learn over time, is that even though men that I like are very stoic and really seem strong and brave, they still have feelings. They still process all feelings the way that we process. Thank you, Reggie. Okay, extra special. I got to do a quick shout out. Extra special. Reggie just contributed. Let me just put it right here. And he did it through Cash App, which is very sweet because he probably watches the YouTube show regularly and knows that YouTube takes a ton from the creators. So thank you so much, Reggie, for sending that via Cash App. That was very, very sweet. If anyone else wants to do that, I'll go ahead and put that there. Okay. So, lost my train of thought because that was so sweet. Thank you, Reggie. So, so sweet. She didn't realize that her behavior was having an effect on men. The guy. And here's the other one. This other woman was communicating with a guy, and he mentioned he wanted to talk to her, and her response was so dry. It was so dry, I need to take a sip of water. It was so dry. And I said, teasing her, well, thank you so much. Teasing her, like, I'm not surprised that he, fell back. I'd be surprised if he writes to you at all. And, I might have been a little bit harsh in that moment, not intending to be. But here's the thing. Our behavior has consequences. Men respond to our behavior. This is why the reel that I did on why men fall back went viral, because so many guys were saying, Reciprocity is it. Reciprocity is it. We want reciprocity. Basically, we're going to return what you give. Thank you, Keith. Keith just contributed a 20. Thank you so much from Cash App. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Y'all, this when y'all put your money where your mouth is, this is very, very sweet. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Men want reciprocity. And so if you are pouring into him and you're giving him all the feels, he's going to keep going. He's going to be excited. He is going to do all the stuff that we want. But it's this like, this feeds this. We feed each other. I did a video a long time ago that said understanding men, or I think it's understanding men, something like that on YouTube. And I said, we're like two wind-up toys. You wind up his back and he winds up yours, and you wind it, and you just keep inspiring each other. But you can't sit back, do nothing, and actually be a little bit nasty or cold, and then like expect the world. Goodness. Okay, go ahead and comment if you're watching on YouTube. I don't know if you're on Instagram, YouTube. Diane just sent 25. You guys, this is a record for a non-Thursday night. Thank you so much, Diane. I don't know what your IG is. I know Reggie and Keith. I don't know what yours is, Diane. So I'm gonna give you. Thank you. It was very sweet. We have to give back. We have to give back. And I've given this example so many times, but my guy said, I did not know that butterflies was a real thing in real life. I really thought it was something just romanticized in the movies. It wasn't until our relationship where he had someone pouring into him words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, acts of service, quality time, pouring into him, that he was like, whoa, I feel these things. And this man wants to give me the world. He loves to see me happy, and I love to see him happy. But reciprocity, if I was just take, and sucking him dry, no pun intended. That's the opposite effect. Sorry, we're all grown, right? Okay, pardon my joke. But if I was just taking and not giving anything, that relationship would just fall flat. So we have to get out of our own way. But better yet, we have to understand men. I forgot to put this one up. All right, so let's put this one up so you guys can follow. So you got to be able to understand men. It's very important to know what men are into, what turns them off. And these are universal truths. Before somebody says, but all men are different, there is no, the adult person. There is no one size fits all. There are some universal truths, and I'm going to prove it to you. For women, we all would admit that we like chivalry. We all like bravery. We all like muscles. We all like a confident man. We all like a provider and a protector. We all want a man to look at us and think that we're the most beautiful person in the room. We all want a man who looks at us and says, I don't want anyone else. Okay? I just rattled off a bunch of universal truths for women. And guess what? Men have universal truths. So if you at least have that baseline, of understanding, that will get you in the door. And then you start to learn your guy, and then you double down. Okay? Oh, you guys, names that I don't even recognize are sending in gifts. Thank you, Kurt. There's $20 from Kurt. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, y'all got me in my feelings a little bit. Remember I told you about reciprocity? Okay, I'm doing this for free on a Sunday afternoon instead of watching a movie with my guy, because I want to help you guys. And look at y'all. Y'all are pouring back into me. Okay, this is reciprocity in real time. Oh, thank you. Okay, I was wondering who that was. So Gift from Heaven on Instagram. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. And then we'll see who Kurt is. Is Kurt on YouTube or Instagram? So I can say thank you. But yes, if you guys can come to YouTube, it makes it so much easier. Just type in Chasing Yancey. YouTube actually blesses content creators for the number of views versus Instagram. Instagram just goes, thanks. YouTube actually takes care of us. Okay, so that's why I ask full transparency. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name, but we'll put you on the screen. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So it's really important to understand men's needs. And a lot of women are saying, guys are just flaky. They just don't want relationships. They're just afraid of commitment. They're not. A lot of these guys are not trying to be outside. Oh, fist. Okay. A lot of these guys are not necessarily trying to be outside. Not all of them are trying to chase tail. Like, a lot of them have gotten it out of their system and they are ready to just have boring weekends at home in their sweats. Okay? I was cooking today for the family. I was making fajitas. Oh my God, they were so ridiculously good. It was steak, shrimp, and chicken. And we came back from church, happy campers, eating. Like, this is the life. Like, a lot of guys want this, just chilling. They're not trying to be out in the clubs. They're not trying to get wasted. Like, there are a lot of grown men who just want their honey and they just don't want drama. They want peace. Okay. They want babies. A lot of guys want babies, especially with women who don't have any. Okay. So if any of these things you feel like, man, you could work on, don't do the other thing that is keeping you single. It's refusing help. Yes, my content, I try to cover a lot in my content. I do YouTube, I do TikTok, on occasion. Of course, I'm faithful on Instagram. And I do shows on YouTube. They kept me for 7 hours last week. It's crazy. I give them 2 hours for free. And if they want more time, we do $1 a minute. And they literally 2:15 a.m. I had to beg for my life. I had to fight for my life. I was laying down. You watch the video. I was literally laying down with the blanket. I was like, y'all are wild for this. And it wasn't until the people were like, we have work tomorrow. You guys have to sign off. Okay. But I put a lot of content out there. But if you really, really, really want to take this thing to another level and you want to see your blind spots, she said, when I saw the link to the video, I was shocked. Yes, it wasn't a typo. You got to invest. You got to pay. You got to find someone who helps, right? You have to find someone who helps you. There are a lot of people out there now, a lot of them panders. So you got to be careful who you pick, but find someone. Go to therapy. If you don't want to come to me, if you don't like, oh, this is marketing for you, go anywhere. Like, go anywhere. You start to ask men, ask your exes, like, get help. And for those of you who like my content, you trust my stuff, so many people, so many men have said, yes, she's speaking the truth. I've got 5 couples that got married off of my platform, and I've had plenty more who got married from just taking coaching. Okay, the 5 couples means they met through my platform. Like, he was on my page and she was on my page. Okay, 5 couples there. I love. I want you guys to win. I want you to be successful. I'll give you guys the information at the end, but I have a coaching program. It only opens up about 4 times a year, and this next one starts August 6th. And I might not be doing the in-person one permanently because I just did an online version. I might just do that. But I have one. It starts August 6th. Okay. It's in 2 weeks, or 1 week and 1 day. If you want information about that, just DM me. I'll give you the information at the end. But get help. Seek help. There are plenty of people who want to help. You cannot go around thinking that you are perfect and just blame men for everything. And I always tell my girls, yes, there are men who have issues, but guess what? I teach you how to vet them out. So now that we vetted those guys out who have issues, now what's your excuse? When you do meet the great guy, you're scaring him off. You have to be willing to do the work. So many women, and I've just been lazy, but I need to start putting the testimonials out. I think I put one out today, and I'll put the others out. There were like, I don't know, 7 or so from the class that just ended in June. And they were saying, I saw this blind side. I had this wrong mindset. There's a lot of room for growth. If you have the budget for it, sign up. You will not regret it. I've never had a person say, I regret this. And I make them do an anonymous poll so they can answer freely. Okay. And I want to say this is important for me to share this before we move forward. I'm not perfect. I am not on a soapbox fussing at women from a place of judgment. I am like somebody who realizes there is a sale and texting all my friends, girl, did you know these handbags are 75% off? Girl, I can't believe I was paying full price. Get over here, get over here. I failed at my marriage. I tapped out 12 years into my marriage. I had no dating experience. I met someone 3 months later, just out of college, because my parents were strict. Met someone 3 months later. We were engaged, and at 1 year mark, we got married. And we both knew we should not get married when we actually walked down the aisle. But I was like, oh my god, about all my terrible reasons why I still went forward with it. But I sucked. I sucked as a wife. Okay. And I'll rattle a few things off so you guys know I'm not just being dramatic. I was self centered. I was crazy defensive. I was lazy. By the way, this is like the trifecta. Like, this is horrible. So you think about it. You're lazy, so you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And when the person calls you out, you're defensive. And then you are, what was the other one? Lazy, defensive. What did I say? The third one was that fast. Defensive, lazy. Oh, did I say hypocritical? I can't remember what the third one was. So then I would turn around and then do the thing I said I hated, and then be just as adamant on the other side. How did I already forget what the third one was? I think maybe it was undisciplined. I don't know. But I was just, oh my God, don't call me out. I'm going to be super defensive. But I'm not going to actually do what I'm supposed to do because I'm lazy. I'm not self-disciplined. And I didn't realize until after the fact, I pitched myself as like this domestic goddess. Like, I'm going to cook and clean because I'm looking at my mom in my head subconsciously and describing her. Self-centered. Thank you. I was like, what was going on? Thank you. That was really bugging me. But when I really thought about it, I was like, I actually want to be a trophy wife. I realized that like way too far in. And he's like, if you had said I want a trophy wife, he would have never proposed. Okay. But that's really what my behavior showed. And it took a while and a lot of growing up to where I realized I don't want to be a domestic goddess. I want to be a partner. I want to be an equally contributing partner. Like, it doesn't have to be equal on the same. It doesn't be equal financially or equal this or that. But I want to contribute, and that is important to me. But it took growth. I really thought that being cute and having a big bubble butt was it. I was tiny. I was size 4, big old bubble butt, big smile, great personality, and I thought I was God's gift to men. Not understanding how important accountability is. Accountability and thinking of someone outside of yourself and not being doggone lazy. Because he was willing to work, but if you do this, then this is what comes with it. If you do this, this comes with it. And I was like, I just want everything my way. What age did you figure that out? It had to be my late 30s. It took me being broken, disheveled, annihilated emotionally, physically becoming ill because of it. It was such a traumatic situation being in that relationship. Of course, he was pushed to his breaking point. I don't really like to bring him up because he didn't ask to be on social media. But you can imagine what dealing with that for a long time is like. Probably not the nicest to them. And then I'm desperate for love. Like, I want to be loved, but I'm not being loving. I'm like a porcupine going, hug me. Well, you got all these prickles, Yancy. I'm going to get hurt if I keep loving you, if I keep hugging you. He said nothing wrong with a good bubble, though. That won't keep a marriage, though. So I have dedicated my life to teaching women how to avoid the same pitfalls that I fell into, how to become the best version of yourself. But if you don't accept help, if you refuse help, you're not going to get there, or it's going to take you a long, long time. I am 44 and finally in a healthy relationship. It shouldn't have taken that long. It would have been nice if I could have just gotten married, it worked, and didn't have to split up the family and all this stuff. So learn from me. Learn from my mistakes. You got to learn. Let's see. Did I cover everything? I tried to make notes so I didn't forget. Are you guys enjoying this? If you are, by the way, feel free to send the cash app. It helps a lot. Got to get my little girl some glasses. Hey, being an entrepreneur is not easy, okay? But I have an 8-week coaching program. If you want more information, slide in my DM on Instagram and just type the word August, and I'll give you the information. Speaking of, okay, I have a sales call, someone who wants to talk. Okay, I have a few more minutes. But I'll send you the information. I have a ton of girls who went through the program. Any number of them would be fine with, sharing if you wanted to know, talk to somebody who's been through it. And so, oh, good, Ida, thank you. She came over from IG. Awesome. All right. So if I don't know how many women are in the comments, but if you have not taken my course, but if you are interested, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Just say interested. I would just like to see visually. And then of course you still have to slide in my DM on Instagram, but let me know. I want to reach as many women as possible. And we have a lot of fun. The group gets really bonded. They were already planning girls trips within, I think, the first week of the group. They really bonded. But then you get an education and you start to enjoy. And you guys, I got to say this too. This goes beyond just being more pickable. Okay, the course. I am going to pitch the course. So, all right. So just listen in. It goes beyond being pickable because that just sounds like it's a one-sided thing. It will help you to enjoy the process more. It will help you to enjoy dating more. If you look at guys and women, I would say guys seem like they have more fun when it comes to dating, as far as like not being stressed out. Like they might be annoyed by, the things that women do that I just talked about today. But as far as like, you don't see men walking around crying and feeling like, oh my God, my heart is broken because of the different techniques that they use. And it's kind of just built in with their personality. And so I teach women how to not be stressed out when it comes to dating. Like dating itself could just be stressful, but you should not be stressed out because of how you're going about it. So just DM me on Instagram, the word August, if you want more information. Any thoughts you guys want to share before I wrap up here? I just had to rant. And if you want to join, I'm going to go ahead and put the link here. If you want to see all the bonus content I do post on Patreon, that is the link. My apologies, it didn't go all the way through. That's the link there, patreon.com/Yancy. This does offer support to me as a creator, but you guys also get all the tea. So on there, you can get all the answers to the questions that the men answer. And I ask them a question a day, Monday through Friday, sometimes more than one a day. And then I post them all for my patrons. The names are redacted by them. The men's names are redacted, so you don't know who said what, but you can see everything that they say. And then any polls that I take, even though they're skewed a bit with the women voting, but the polls are there and you can get all that information. And plus we have a lot of fun with group chats. We have my singles event that happens every first Friday of the month, Zoom Mingle. We all meet on Zoom and we do encourage each other with fitness. I have a group event that's coming up in next month, Labor Day weekend here in Dallas, doing a big event for my patrons. We have a lot of fun. Okay. Did you guys enjoy the live stream? I am wrapping up here. And those of you watching the replay, let's do something fun. I always like to ask people something at the very end so I could see who made it to the very end. What should I ask them? I asked them what their favorite ice cream was in another video. What's the last show that you watched that was really good? Because I always like to know about new shows. So if you made it all the way to the end and you're on the replay, let me know the last show that you watched. You guys can do it in the group chat too, but it'll show differently as the comment below. Or you can go through in the comments after and add it. But put the name of the show and the platform. So if it's like, blah, 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 then put Netflix or blah, 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 Paramount Plus. Okay. Let's see. Oh, she said, I did enjoy it. Thank you for sharing this. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Marcus said, thank you for doing what you do. It seems like it's making a healthy difference. Well needed. Thank you. And so, last thing, Thursday nights, make sure you guys tune in Thursday nights. Let me take this one down so it's not distracting. Thursday nights on YouTube. Let me know where my YouTube family is. Okay. But Thursday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, I have my YouTube show. We have way too much fun. Okay. You'll see the whole other side of me. We kind of have our regular panel members and then patrons I have an open door policy. Anybody who wants to watch, anybody who wants to join the show on Patreon can just click the link and join backstage. We have a lot of fun. Like I said, they tend to hold me hostage after 9. They don't let me clock out. And so I usually don't get my cupcake hours on Thursdays, but I'm really bitter about. My honey knows he's just not going to see me Thursday nights. But we have a lot of fun. We cover the men's answers and hear from the guys directly. So if you are a man and you want to share more than you can just type in your little comment section, then go ahead and join the show. Okay. All right, guys, you can continue to post your stuff. Go ahead and comment in the regular comments after it's posted if you guys are watching here, because it's hard for people to see the group chat. So if you guys are watching live on the live chat, that's fine. Great. Go back and then recopy it as a regular comment once it posts right now. Okay. Ida says, it was fun. I came on. Oh, awesome. So glad you came. Okay. Oh, cool. I'm seeing some shows. I got to screenshot all of these. All right, guys. I will see you next time.